Hi, welcome to our first screencast for LingSync, or at least my first screencast of this version of LingSync. What you're looking at right now is your dashboard. So if at any point I talk about returning to your dash or your dashboard, this is what I mean. Right now it's got three columns. On the left you see sort of basic information about areas that you're in. So you're in a corpus, which is untitled. You can change your title here. Elise 2's first intro corpus, and you can even add a description saying this is a corpus associated with whatever you want, really. For the case of this demo, we'll just do numbers data. How about? You can also set its privacy settings as private or a different, more public setting, and people will be able to see it or not see it as you wish. And within a corpus, you have a bunch of elicitation sessions. Again, you can change your goal and consultant to reflect the actual goal and the actual consultant. So our goal is to demo LingSync and get some Mi'kmaq numbers. Our consultant is just me, EKM, and the date is November 15th, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so these are just basic places. Corpora are places where you can store your sessions. Sessions are where you store your data. And data lists, we'll get back to those later, but they're sort of ways of organizing your data, of making them grouped according to certain more grammaticality judgments. You can use them to prepare for handouts or sessions with consultants or as to-do lists. They're pretty variable in what you can do with them. So that's a data list, and we'll probably talk more about those in a different screencast. Alright, so that's the left column. In our middle column, we've got quick start instructions, which will appear anytime you open LingSync, and they're pretty useful for your first go through, but I've read them a zillion times, so I'll just close them with that little X there. Okay, and now we're at our data entry area, and then on the right column we have Unicode drag and drop, an activity feed, and our Corpus team activity feed. Since my activity feed will show pretty much nothing, I haven't done too much today, and my Corpus team activity feed will just be a team of one, I'm the only person in it, we'll be ignoring those pretty much for this screencast. Okay, so data entry area. These are just some nice tricks for data entry. Judgment, if you leave it blank, then they assume it's grammatical. If you put stars or hashtags in it, then hash marks in it, then that means what those usually mean, so ungrammatical or questionable semantics. Here's where we put our utterance. I'm going to stick to numbers, like I said. Now when you type in your utterance and hit tab, it takes you down to the morpheme box, and that automatically just copies what you had in your utterance down there. So it saves a little bit of time, and then if this was a complex morpheme, I could add dashes, etc., and split them up a little bit. Fortunately, this is just a 1-to-1 ratio. Note means 1. Its translation is 1, and that's pretty much all we have to do there. If I want, I can add tags to it, so I might put number as a tag. And it has been checked with the consultant because the consultant is me. So this is a sort of area for you to say, mark some data as, I'll get back to this later. Say you want to hypothesize that note do means something different from note. You can just make a new datum and tell it to check it later. Okay, so you have one datum. Congratulations. You can hit the save button for security, but our program also automatically saves things every 10 seconds. We'll add another piece of data by clicking that that plus button there. And this is going to be the utterance dabu, which means 2. and it's also a number, and it has been checked. So about this little tag field, we're still working on that a little bit. It needs to have some fine-tuning added to it. Right now, it is a good idea to tag your stuff, but not totally necessary. You can also add little notes. So this is a space for freeform notes of any kind. I like this word and think it is related to X other word. For instance, it's just a place for notes of any kind. And you can see when you added it and who you are and all that jazz. Okay, so here's another nice feature. You can also duplicate your datum to create a minimal pair. So let's say I also want to have a word for double goal. This is two inanimate objects. And since it was created as a minimal pair with the first one, it retained its number, tag, its checked status, and even the notes. So that's a pretty nice little feature of it. You can have a lot more ease putting in sentences, for instance, that are minimal pairs. And we'll save that just to be sure. And that's the end of our screencast. You know how to put in a couple datum. They're saved in terms of that session, so all of this information, who your consultant is, what the goal was, that's saved along with your data. It's within your corpus. And that's pretty much it for us today. You can, of course, have a look at the sessions associated with this corpus and that sort of thing in your corpus settings button there. But we're trying to keep these short, so I should sign off. Thanks!